The controversy continues to fester over just who's responsible for 24 students simply being swept away in a deluge in Himachal Pradesh. The ambiguity over existing guidelines which must be followed when releasing water from dams is an issue that has now been taken up by the Himachal Pradesh High Court.
While taking suo motu cognizance of the tragedy in which 24 students are feared to have drowned, the Himachal Pradesh High Court has issued a notice to the state government demanding to know the protocol that exists to release excess water from dams. It's also asked the state government to put on record whether or not a siren was in fact sounded off on Sunday afternoon when unsuspecting students on a trip to Manali were washed away.
Well, let's go straight across to headlines today. Is Jaskirat Singh Baba joining us live from Mandi, which is the district headquarters. The actual tragedy happened right there within the vicinity of the Baes river. Jaskirat, the High Court of Himachal Pradesh has taken suo motu cognizance. Accountability has to be fixed now. What are you hearing?
Well, that's correct. On the 16th of June, the state government as well as the authorities in charge of managing that particular dam and the district authorities are collectively supposed to respond along with the status report about the rescue efforts. Apart from that, they have to give the larger picture as to how exactly did this incident take place. They have to also answer to the High Court on whether or not there were proper warnings in place to actually warn the students about the water discharge or whether the proper protocol was followed. The High Court judges, in fact, while issuing this notice, observed that prima facie it seems like it is a grave case of negligence on part of the public authorities. However, they are, of course, awaiting more details on the 16th of June to take further action on this.
All right, thanks, Jaskirat. We'll come back to you a little later to get another update. Search and rescue operations are still currently very much on the Baes River. Dramatic pictures that we're getting to you, and we'll also be going live to Hyderabad in a moment from now. But the Himachal Pradesh High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of that. But they were just swept away completely. That was the tragedy of this entire story. All of those students had no warning whatsoever as the water simply swept them away when they simply got out of the bus to take some pictures. Rishika.
Well, absolutely. And while, some of the survivors have finally made it home in special aircrafts, the kind of stories, Shiv, that are emerging are of pure horror. What exactly they must have gone through at that point in time, and what exactly it must feel like to survive when, your closest friends, people who you were traveling with, people who you've studied with, have either lost their lives or their fate still hangs by that loose thread. But here's a full report on what the survivors have in fact said.
For these families, life has come to a standstill. The bodies of the 4 students who died in the tragedy at Manali were flown to Hyderabad late on Monday. At the airport, the bodies were received by grief-stricken relatives of the students. A special flight carrying students who survived the river tragedy in Himachal Pradesh also reached Hyderabad late on Monday. Parents of the survivors heaved a sigh of relief after finding their loved ones safe and sound.
अच्छा हो गया मैडम, बहुत अच्छा हो गया, मगर बाकी का भी वो भी फील हो रहा है ना, अपना जो बच्ची का क्लोज फ्रेंड है वो गायत्री बोल के वो गया बोल को बहुत फील हो रहा है। वो हमने अपना बच्चे से बात करते रहा, अपना बच्चा सेफ है बोल के रात से बात करते रहा। स्पेशल फ्लाइट अभी वो एयर कोस्टा बोल के लिंगमनेनी ट्रैवल्स वाला चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब ने अरेंज किया, वो लोग आया।
The survivors recounted their horror and blamed the authorities for initiating the rescue operation very late.
I tried to warn my friends instantly, but my voice got stuck, so I had to run to them. And by the time I ran to them and tried to pull a few people out of the valley, the water level rose rapidly. I myself slipped, but I could come out somehow. And we did not hear any kind of warning or siren before the gates were being opened.
Some even claimed that no siren was sounded to alert the students.
It's a sightseeing place. Actually, we went for photographs, but suddenly the dams were around 4 kilometers away from the incident. Suddenly the dams were open.
I'm sure it's a very sad day for you, but if you can speak and tell us what it is.
No, I can't, please. I'm not even, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, operations are on to find the other 20 students who are still missing, who were swept away by the swelling waters of the Baes River. The Army and NDRF are on the job to trace them. The 24 students who were swept away were all engineering students, all with potentially brilliant careers ahead of them. Fate has cut short their dreams. Bureau Report, headlines today.